So this is a 2000 Mercedes ML320 with a 3.2 liter V6. The first thing I ever did to it is, since it's a V6 and I knew I was going to put additional weight on it, I was able to find some hubs and brake calipers from a ML500 because they're quite a bit larger. So I replaced those front and rear. The second thing was I put at the time 33-inch BFG KO2 tires, 285/70/17. These wheels are from a E500 from 2004. The reason I use them is because not only are they 17-inch, which is needed for these larger brakes, but the offset on these things is, I believe, 30 or 25 instead of the stock 65 or 70, which would push the wheels way inwards. So this gives me a little bit of wider track, which I would need. I have since replaced the tires with these, what people call pizza cutters. 255/80/17 Yokohama Geolandar MTG003. A little bit of extra noise on the freeway. It's not really bad. A lot of traction. I've noticed that. Whenever I'm in the dirt, it gives a lot more traction compared to the all-terrain KO2. So the lights on this car were just the standard halogen W163 ML lights. These are aftermarket, but they look like the post-2002 Xenon option. They used to be Hella. These are made by Depot.
Did you have to modify anything, wiring or anything?
Not really. It was just plug and play.
Plug and play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Worked really well.
Okay.
And then I was looking for some kind of a bumper for the front and the back. I was able to find a guy out in Georgia who also has the same car, and he had the same idea of turning these cars into some kind of an off-roader. So he fabricated the front along with the winch setup, and I'd asked him to allow me to be able to put in the winch directly after the bumper was set up. But just in case there was any kind of service that the winch required, it wouldn't require me to pull the whole bumper out. 12,000 pound winch, so it's a fairly standard size.
I noticed you had to cut something.
When I first took off the plastic bumper cover, the bumper support would actually extend to where these horns were. So we had to cut that so that it would this section would fit there. Fits on top of the existing support.
Did you have to drill anything?
No, everything. The guy did everything. So the holes on the bumper were already there. So nothing had to be drilled on the bumper support. And then he fabricated radiator support at the bottom, which actually has saved me quite a few times. And then this, I mean, it's supposed to, what do you call these things? The sliding, whatever it is, just the to kind of,
like a shield?
Yeah, give further support. But he did say that he was going to use very thin material. It was more for looks versus function.
But it protected it, I guess.
It did, and I've gone pretty fast over some corrugations, and ended up running into certain things, which is why it's completely mangled. But it would be nice. A skid plate, that's what it's called. What I used to have were the 4.5-inch Hella rally type lights over here. But one time when I was actually going pretty fast and I hit certain things, I busted those lights.
No. Okay.
Being pretty expensive, I don't want to spend the money on them.
And
so
you can't put them here either because it blocks the other
Yeah,
light.
I used to have them. I just didn't like it. They were very, very tall like this. These are actually the stock ML steps.
Okay.
But the way they connect to the frame from the bottom, this is a body on frame type car. It does function as a rock crawling thing, because this actually becomes the lowest point of the car. So if anything is going to hit, this is what's going to get hit. It's full steel, and even the bar here is full steel, so it's actually pretty strong. It's done a good job. So the guy who was going to do the front, he was also going to do the rear bumpers eventually, but he lost interest in the project.
Oh, so somebody else did the rear.
Yeah, I found a local fabrication shop. Had the car with him for a few months, and
so this is custom made specifically for this car.
Yeah, so same idea. Once you remove the used to be a two-piece bumper cover, plastic bumper cover. Once all that stuff came out, the rear bumper support actually got exposed. All the holes that you see were there. So the first thing we did was I found a stock Mercedes tow hitch assembly. So we put that on, and then he basically had the idea of having these two bars coming along, wrapping around. Then he fabricated pieces of plate, and he just basically spot welded them.
How thick is the...
You know what? I couldn't tell you.
I can't tell either.
It's like about a 1/4 inch, I believe.
Quarter.
Yeah, it's pretty strong. Before we put everything on the car, we actually took him to the shop to do the Rhino type material.
That spray.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually wanted them to be powder coated, but we couldn't find a guy locally who, or I mean, I'm sure there are people. Nobody knew anybody. So as part of this whole thing was also creating the swing arms, one for the water or jerry can.
Now you can also put a jerry can instead of the water. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
The initial idea was that there would be one water or gas can here, and this bracket for the propane was actually sitting where this thing is sitting. But I wanted to carry either one water, one gas, or two water, and so I put that to the side. And then over here, just as a work surface, I was able to find this inexpensive table. So just created this bar here to go across, and I mounted this to it. So it's very useful.
Is this drawer custom?
Well, the company Truck Vault, which makes a lot of products for law enforcement vehicles, actually they had a CAD design for this car for some reason. So basically I had to tell them what color carpeting I wanted, kind of matches the car, and then the configuration of drawer, table, one drawer, two drawers, how high. So I thought the best thing, given that this car is not that big, would be to have a pull-out drawer design.
Use it as a table.
As a table, along with a 10-inch high. So
How heavy is, you think, or if you remember, empty?
When it was empty?
It was empty.
It was
Yeah.
about 150 pounds.
150 empty, okay.
Yeah. And to aid in putting this into the car, these side wings actually don't come attached. So basically the box width is this. You put it in. It's got a couple of turnbuckles on each side that connect to the existing D-rings that are connected to the floor of the trunk. And then once you put those, then these are bolted in. The tops actually swing up, and then this is just bolted in. Yeah, so instead of doing a dual battery setup, I have a EcoFlow solar generator. It's about 1800 watts, I believe. That sits in the back of the car, and then I have wires running to this for 120 volt AC, some USB, and then the 12 volt. Typically 12 volt is for the shower pump.
I noticed 하여간 하츠니 소스테르.
Yes.
아시 샷가레 버리 디파나냐니 토로샤기가.
Siga mesh supporter ne. Pita Pit, one of the best bakeries for Lebanese pita.
Lebanese
bread.
Armenian bread.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So you're saying that this video is sponsored by the pita bread
Sebo
guy.
at Pita Pit loves to sponsor us with bread every time we come camping.
Cebu at pita bread.
Yes.
Okay. All right. What else you have?
Couple other things. One is I wanted to have light up here when I was working, so I just did a simple system here.
That is very nice.
Yeah. Just got changed.
Okay.
Or maybe there was a remote and I didn't know what to do with it. So I've got that set up, and then I also, as part of the swing arm, I wanted to have, again, a work light and a backup light.
Yes.
Because with everything here being dusty and the swing arms or maybe the propane covering this area, I set this up.
That is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a floodlight almost, like a.
Yeah. Now, a little bit of electricity education.
Oh.
What I did was I used the backup light circuit, and then there's also a rear fog light in this car. So there's a rear fog light switch in the front. So I connected it to that as well. Then I found out that when that happens, power flows wherever power wants to flow. So this would light up, the backup light would light up, and the rear fog light would light up. So I had to put diodes.
Oh.
I put diodes here in the circuit. And for the longest time, it was working correctly.
In here?
Yeah. So the reason why this wire is thick is because there are three diodes in here that have been wrapped. And what a diode does is it forces power to go only one direction.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You must be very good with electrical work.
I learned. I tried.
Where did you learn this stuff?
St. Joseph.
St. Joseph School in Chahwan. Sponsored of the video also.
Sponsored by Estezgul.
The school passed away. Haram. Okay.
Now, very recently, one of my campmates actually managed to crash into me, and something happened to the wiring, which is why when I turned this on, guess what happens?
Oh,
the rear fog light's coming. So
must be the diode.
this diode here needs to be replaced.
I was hoping you would say when I turn on the wipers, my horn comes on, or when I hit the horn, the radio comes on.
The wipers come on? Yeah. That happens when you take these cars to Burj
Burj Amud. Come on, they're pretty good at it.
Yeah.
And you have a refrigerator.
I have my fridge. I was able to find, again, when I ordered the box, I knew more or less what size it was going to be, how deep it was going to be. And then so I was able to find this very nice fridge slide out. And then once you get it out, it tilts. And I'm able to...
It's a fridge and freezer or one unit that does
you
both.
Can either make it
okay.
or freezer.
And Stonemaster, South Africa.
Yeah, very good company.
Just like the Tenco.
Yeah. Other things that I typically in the drawer what I carry are, I've got this traditional Coleman burner.
Traditional.
Yes, from 1953. Cutlery, what have you. I've got a whole set of tools.
Do you have any kebab equipment? The most important,
if you come over
and
you go like this,
oh,
you'll get a full
that
set.
is what I'm talking
There you go.
about. You have kebab if you want to make kebab. How many? Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed. I mean, as long as you have the kebab, you could be prepared for a zombie apocalypse.
Absolutely.
I mean, who cares about a first aid kit?
Yeah, and I've got a full set of tools.
Tools?
All my tools.
Asi börek nelu hamar pahlava börek biçine esas oluyordu. Okay.
I've got this 12-ton bottle jack.
Ah, nice.
I've got a booster for just
battery.
in case the battery dies.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you have the cast. What is that? A tefal?
This usually doesn't come with me.
Oh.
Because when I'm typically camping, there's a whole group of guys who come with me.
They have their own.
Stuff, yeah.
Okay.
So.
Well, just in case,
Yeah, just in case. And some toys in here.
Okay. And this is locked. Doesn't open and close, right?
Locks, yeah.
Okay.
I am beginning to carry the key with me now because I happen to keep forgetting the combination.
The combination, yeah. You have to change the combination every day.
Now I figured it out, though. Now I think I have a method to using these numbers.
Do they actually work?
Yeah.
And you said solar. Do you have any? You said solar panels?
For whatever reason, these EcoFlow battery packs, they call them solar generators. So I do carry, I think, 120 or 140 watt.
Like a portable one.
Portable, yeah. You can open it. Usually I can put it on top of the car or actually on the windshield. And then I can feed it into the unit itself. But I don't think I've ever had to use it. I mean, the thing lasts pretty for the entire trip, so I haven't had any problems with that.
Suspension. What have you done on the suspension?
All right, so the front of this car, first of all, this car has four-wheel independent suspension. The front has torsion bars, which means you can crank up the bars to lift up the car. So that was not a problem, but then because of all the extra weight of the tires and the demand on the suspension when you're trying to articulate, the shocks had to be replaced. So I put some Bilstein, I think it's the Bilstein 5165 remote reservoir shocks.
No, it's too dark.
Yeah, these are not
51.
5165.
Fronts are 5165.
Yeah.
Bilstein.
Yeah, these are not for any specific model. I bought them by length, how much they compress and how much they extend. And it pretty much works for the car. So I've been very happy with them. Prior to this, I had 5100 Bilsteins, and they were for a Ford F-150, I believe, from the 1990s. That was a recommendation, but then over corrugated surfaces, my friends who were driving with me were noticing how the wheel was just uncontrolled. It was just going up and down, up and down. Yeah, this controls that. So I'm very, very happy with the front. Not a complaint.
What have you done in the rear?
So the back is where the problems come. Stock springs on this car are progressive. So they are 3 inches at the bottom, and it's like cone shape. It goes up to like about 2 inches on the top. And the first few inches are very soft, so no way that the stock springs could handle the load on, because this thing added about 700 pounds.
Fully loaded with water and everything?
It's about
700 pounds.
Extra, yeah, 700 to 800 pounds extra. So the first thing was I noticed that there were, in Germany, original Bilstein springs that set plus 300 kilogram. Okay. Well, I put those on, same thing. I mean, I got a slight lift initially, but then as soon as I loaded the car,
sagged.
And mind you, at the time I had a rooftop tent, same thing, it was sag. So from the way I'm measuring things is from the bottom of the wheel to the bottom of the wheel well, stock was about 33 or 34 inches when the car was in its completely stock form. After I did this, I got about 38 inches. Okay, so the back was 35, 36. It would just sag. So even after those 300 kilogram springs, next thing I did was I read that a lot of people with independent suspensions on the Jeep Grand Cherokee are using 800 pounds per inch springs on the back. So I ordered a pair of Eibach, and I had to modify it a little bit for it to fit. And it's been working very well. I mean, I got my full lift. Unfortunately, I don't think I have enough weight to truly compress the suspension. So the next job is going to be to replace those with 650 pounds per inch springs.
Eibach springs with what kind of Inca shock? See.
So the shocks are stock. These are the heavy dutyest shocks that you can buy from Bilstein.
Stock like ML.
ML.
Okay.
But the heavy duty.
Okay.
From Bilstein.
What number do you know?
I don't remember.
You don't know.
The issue with this is, well, these are B6 shocks. So B4 is stock, B6 is the heavy duty, and B8 is sport. There's no B8 on this car. The issue with these shocks is that there's a ball joint at the bottom. So the shock is part of the whole suspension articulation. There's not a single shock out there, stock, or aftermarket, that has a ball joint at the bottom. So it's going to be very expensive to probably have Bilstein or King or Fox fabricate something of that nature. But it's working, actually. They're heavy duty enough where they're working even with these 800 pound springs. I'm sure when I go to 650 it's going to be even better. The car overall is quite capable. It's never let me down, both mechanically, physically, everything. It works really well. Unfortunately, because I've got the V6, it doesn't have that much torque to start with. And now with the 33 and 33 plus inch tires, I've lost about 15% of gear ratio. This is not a Toyota, it's not a Ford. You can't just re-gear things, right? So sometimes when I'm going up really steep hills, or the road is kind of very rough, I do struggle, but I've managed to get out of it without any major issues.
What do you have here?
Just a hot water heater set up for showering and getting hot water when the weather's really cold. It's basically an instant hot water heater inside a Pelican case, along with a pump that runs on a 12 volt and a little filter just in case I want to pull water from a stream or a lake.
Like a sediment.
Hose in there, and then run a 12 volt to the car for the pump.
Like an Anderson plug there.
Yeah, I used to have a a UPS box for my computer, and the thing died, so I kind of took the plug from this and then created a 12-volt lead, which basically plugs into the back of the car, and that's connected to my
like a
solar generator.
Cigarette lighter.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
a propane.
I've got the propane. It's a 11-pound aluminum Worthington propane cylinder, which used to go on this location, but that thing's been chewed up pretty badly on the trail, so I'll have to fix that.
This is a Pelican case.
Pelican case.
And this is just an instant, like a camping, and you made the connectors at the bottom?
Yeah, they're instant
quick connect?
Quick connect disconnectors. Attached
For the water.
To the water.
And then you're going to connect that over here.
That goes over here.
You already connected the gas.
Yeah, that's another quick connect design.
For the gas.
Yep.
Okay. And this camp plugs, you could control the temperature.
You can control temperature, and you can control volume, water volume. It's
water
interesting
volume
because when water volume is towards the lower side, it gets a lot hotter. So I try to keep it in the middle. Same with temperature, I try to keep it in the middle.
And then you got this little thing you connected to. Okay. And that's a pressure valve.
That's a pressure valve, and then I've got these couple locations because at one point I used to use the
heater.
Tusk.
Oh, right.
Remember?
Yeah.
But another heavyweight item that no longer comes with me.
Well, okay. That's a good-looking car.
Yeah, it works. It works very well, actually. You just have to know its limitations. Having a ML500 or ML55 will be a game changer. The amount of torque you get with those engines compared to this are just phenomenal.
But it's a very nice budget, nice project.
Yeah.
If someone wants to get a used one,
typically the V6 ones are going for anywhere between $4,000 and $7,000. The nice V8 ones go for $6,000 to $15,000. Again, parts are not that available as far as modification, but it requires very little modification. So any fabricator can do some of these things. A little bit of hard work, and unfortunately, you're limited by the suspension's design. All the arms, the ball joints, they're about 1 or 2 inches shorter than they should be for the car to be truly capable.
It wasn't designed for off-road, but you could make it with some modifications.
Interestingly enough, this car was, they started working on this car in 1993, and it was supposed to replace the W163 G-Wagon, the old G-Wagons. But then there was enough demand for the G-Wagon that Mercedes decided to have 2 separate lines. So if this car was supposed to replace the G-Wagon, it should have had that same capability in terms of suspension flex. Not that the G-Wagon has that much flex, but more than this. The arms are very strong. They're all forged aluminum, forged steel. It's just short. So when you're taxing the system, it just doesn't have that much movement.
Okay. Well, it's a good car. Well done. Nice paint choice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. Every once in a while I like to test the winch, extend it, and then pull it back. The Toyota comes with a little pouch. In the pouch you have some tools, and then you have then the cable for the power. It has that special plug. And then you hear the relay kick in that it's powered. A special tool that came with the winch to unlock. The power button, as you can see, it's on now with the green light. You have in and out. It has magnets, so you could store it on the bumper, temporary. You can even hang it. Has a little hook if you want to hang it somewhere. Plus, this is convenient. And then you lock it again. And when you're done, you take it off, put the cover back on,